Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is set to include many different pieces of Jedi and Sith lore by director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio that will change our view on the entire Skywalker saga. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, one thing about this movie that a lot of people are really interested in and are very curious about is, of course, exactly how JJ is going to utilize the different pieces of the Jedi and Sith lore in this story that will be used, in a sense, in order to evolve the characters of Kylo Ren and Rey, as well as giving us a different perspective on the Jedi and the Sith themselves, well before the events of the Skywalker saga. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions, this is where things begin to get very exciting and intriguing for this movie. Now, specifically, a description of Rey within the Lost City, where it's described that she is within the Sith location. It's described that Rey enters the Sith ruins, where it's said to contain dozens of ancient Sith statues that will provide new revelations of the dark side and the Sith. The next describes Rey standing in front of a large statue that is said to be the first Sith, where just like the first Jedi statue, this statue also holds an ancient library below the structure where one of the books is described as the Book of the One. It's described that Rey learns in the book that the Sith were corrupted by the unknown force from the beyond, and that it was the foundation of the dark side. Additionally, it's described that the Sith discovered the first Kyber crystal cave, and that before the great divide between the Jedi and the Sith revealed the cave to the Jedi for their own benefit, where they eventually developed lightsabers. It's described that they discovered the new powers that the ancient Jedi eventually adopted, that were eventually passed down throughout the generations. So I really want to go over a couple of parts about this and as to why this is very intriguing. I really want to go over the unknown force that originates in the Beyond. Now, this unknown force is said to have corrupted the ancient Sith, and that's exactly what started the Great Divide. Now, we heard about this slightly before in the past, that the Beyond was directly responsible for the Great Divide between both the Jedi and the Sith. And what's really intriguing, though, is that within the Beyond, there was an unknown force that corrupted the Sith organization, or the people who follow the Sith rule. Now, what I find so very interesting about this is that this is essentially JJ's way of really reshaping the lore of the Jedi and the Sith as we know it, and really kind of just exploring other aspects of the Force and even the entire Star Wars franchise that is currently pretty much unexplained within the Disney era of Star Wars films. Now, we do know that parts of Episode 9 were rewritten in order to really tie it into the new Star Wars trilogy, and without a doubt, these characters, these ancient Sith and Jedi that are going to be explored in the Sith ruins as well as the Jedi ruins by Rey, is most definitely going to serve as a major connection to the new Star Wars trilogy by, of course, writers David Benioff and D.B. Weiss. So what I find very mysterious about all of this is that what is this unknown force that originates in the Beyond, and specifically, what really is the Beyond? In great detail, we haven't learned too much about what the Beyond exactly is going to be in Star Wars Episode 9 by JJ. Now, one thing about the unknown force that we do know about is that this is a dark side energy that we have actually heard about in the legends and even in the canon books, such as Empire's End and the Aftermath novels. We do know that Emperor Palpatine felt the dark side presence over in the unknown regions, and the unknown regions has a connection to the Beyond. So, like I say, this unknown force that corrupted the Sith many years ago, thousands of years ago, where J.J. Abrams is exploring that aspect and that truth about the Sith that will be discovered by Rey in this movie, I think is going to be something that could very well be somewhat controversial to a lot of Star Wars fans, especially to a lot of the hardcore fans that are very much in tune with a lot of the lore, you know, whether you're into the expanded universe or into the current canon material by Disney, whatever have you. This is JJ's way of really expanding everything Star Wars within one single movie that is set to end the Skywalker saga. So, like I say, guys, the Lost City is going to be a very important element in this movie, as well as the Dark Spire. In case you guys have no idea, The Dark Spire is going to be Kylo Ren's adventure with the Knights of Ren into this large castle-like structure, where they go there and they discover the origins of the dark side as well as new truths about the Force and the galaxy. And Rey is going on a very similar mission when she goes to an unknown world as well, where she goes underneath the surface of this world into the actual Lost City itself, where we do get to learn a whole lot more revelations of the Jedi and the Sith in Episode 9. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.